Hello everyone, welcome to another English class. Today in our lesson, we'll be looking at verb clause. Verb clause, and we'll try to also see how it can be used in sentences. Alright, so a verb clause, when we say verb clause, it can just be a main verb. In a sentence, the verb clause can just be the main verb, or it can be the main verb plus an auxiliary verb. Now, what do we mean by the main verb? The main verb in a sentence is the word that actually carries the meaning of the action that is being carried out or that is carried out. The main word that describes or that tells the action, the real meaning of the action. Okay, that's the main verb. While auxiliary verb is a helping verb. It helps the main verb to give clearer meaning or to make more sense. For example, if you have run, run is a main verb, or running, okay, is an action word. It tells about a particular action. But then when you use is running, it helps this main verb. It gives clearer meaning. It helps it to portray clearer meaning. Like John is running. Okay, so this is what we mean by main verb. An example of auxiliary is. Okay, by the time we go further, we're going to see more examples of auxiliary verbs and then how they combine with main verbs to form verb clause, and sometimes how just a verb can also function as a verb clause. All right, let's explore some examples. The examples we're going to look at here for affirmative verb clause. So when we say affirmative, it's not a big word. It just means the normal or positive verb clause. Because when we go further, you're going to see some that ask questions. There are those that are negative, with the use of not. Okay, so this one are just the straight one, expressing information. So they are the affirmative verb clause. So the first one here says, the girl is coloring her work. The girl is coloring her work. Now, coloring, we know, is the main verb. The is here is the helping verb. Is helping the main verb coloring. The next example here says, Mrs. Benson has been waiting. Mrs. Benson has been waiting. Again, we see waiting as the main verb, okay, while has been is the helping verb. So together they form the verb clause. In the same way, is coloring forms the verb clause here. Now the third example says Jimmy works hard. Jimmy works hard. Remember, we said a verb clause could just be a main verb, or it could be a combination of main verb and auxiliary verb. So in the first two cases, we have a combination of main verb and auxiliary verb, that is helping verbs. But in this example, we see a case of just the main verb, okay? But it is also a verb clause. So Jimmy works hard, okay? Let's look at some examples, some further examples. So the next set of examples we're going to look at are those of negative verb clause. Some examples of negative verb clause, and they are used in sentences. So the first one here says, Emma does not like orange. Emma does not like orange. Now we know that like is the verb there, the main verb. Does not here functions as auxiliary, but negative auxiliary. The normal auxiliary verb here is does, but when the not here is added, it makes it the negative form of it. That's why we say it's the negative verb clause, okay? Emma does not like orange. So does not like orange forms the verb clause in this sentence. The second example says, I haven't finished my work. I haven't finished my work. Now, finished is the main verb, and haven't, which is a contrast or contracted form of have not, is the auxiliary or helping verb. So I haven't finished my work here. Haven't finished forms the verb clause. Haven't finished forms the verb clause. And the last example in this category is they did not come yesterday. They didn't or did not come yesterday. Again, come is the main verb. Why did not form the auxiliary or helping verb. So together, did not come forms the verb clause. They did not come yesterday. So the not in these verb clauses make them to be the negative verb clause. Without the not, they will not be negative. Okay? So whenever you see not anywhere, it refers to no, which is negative. So these are some examples of negative verb clauses. All right, so the next category we're looking at is the interrogative verb clauses. The interrogative verb clauses. So this interrogation, remember, means to question, okay, to ask questions. So interrogative verb clauses are those verb clauses that ask questions. They are question asking verb clauses. For example, did you finish your food? Here we know that finish is the main verb, okay, but the did you here is giving form to the verb finish. It's aiding it to make more sense. So did you finish forms the verb clause in this sentence. The next one is, are you coming over today? Are you coming over today? So are you coming here forms the verb clause. And the last example in this category, has he done the job? Again, we know this is the main verb, but has he gives form to it and helps it to take shape. That's why it's the helping verb. That's what we call it. Has is a helping verb. Remember, are is a helping verb. So has he done in this sentence forms the verb clause. Okay? So this is the category of interrogative verb clauses. So we're just going to take a few more examples and that will be it. So let's take just some further examples here. My friend can swim. My friend can swim. Swim is the main verb and can is the auxiliary verb. So together they form the verb clause. Can swim. You should study hard. You should study hard. Here, study is the main verb and should is the helping verb. You should study hard. So together, should and study form the verb clause. They will come next week. Will and come form the verb clause. Okay, come is the main verb, will is the helping verb, the auxiliary verb. And lastly, you have he must have seen the notes. So must have seen form the verb clause. Okay, so I hope we have learned something today on verb clause and how we use them in sentences. Please, if you find this video helpful, please help us to subscribe and also hit the like button. We hope to see you again next week. And until then, stay blessed and stay safe.